This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to the program. Today we will talk about the passing of former Arkansas Governor Jim Guy Tucker. We'll also take a look at what's happening up at the state legislature as it relates to collegiate sports and sports raffles. Representative R.J. Hawk is our guest. All of this on today's Talk Business and Politics Daily.
Talk Business and Politics Daily is sponsored in part by Impact Management Group and
Power. It's right there, waiting, ready to go when you are. Connect this, click that, unconnect and go every day. Delivered by your electric cooperative. Each unique, always united, and completely local. Born from a mission to provide dependable, sustainable, and affordable power to every corner of Arkansas. And delivering on that promise for a brighter Arkansas every day. It's the local hometown cooperative way. Better connected. Together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
Well, former Arkansas Governor Jim Guy Tucker died in Little Rock on Thursday at the age of 81 after battling an illness. Tucker, a Democrat, was a former Arkansas governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, U.S. congressman, and prosecuting attorney. He was a major player in Arkansas politics from the 1970s through the 1990s and was nearly elected U.S. senator in an epic race against the late David Pryor in 1978. Former Congressman Ray Thornton was also in that epic primary. Tucker served as the 43rd governor of Arkansas from 1992 to 1996. He was elected lieutenant governor in 1990 and elevated to governor when then Governor Bill Clinton was elected U.S. president. Tucker won re-election in 1994 as governor, but was snared in the Whitewater scandal and resigned from office in 1996. Our thoughts go out to his wife Betty and his children, as well as his extended family and former co-workers. I was one of them. Former Governor Jim Guy Tucker gave me my start in politics when he was governor, and I'm deeply indebted for that. And I'll have more to say later about him, his life, and his legacy. He was a really, really great man. When we come back, Representative R.J. Hawk.
Talk Business and Politics Daily is sponsored in part by Capital Advisors Group and
in the Navy, I train recruits. At Walmart, I recruit veterans. So many veterans have built their careers here.
Served in the Army for 11 years. I was promoted 4 times. Been with Walmart 9 years. I've been promoted 5 times.
I started as an hourly associate, and now I run the store.
430,000 veterans hired in the last decade. That's more than serving in the U.S. Navy today. There's no better place for veterans to work.
Connection. It's the heart of what we do. It's why we work to better the communities where we live and work. It's why we're expanding to get people connected and create digital equity programs that support affordable internet and digital literacy. We're leaders for positive change. From the way we empower our people, clients, and communities to the way we care for our planet. We live our values every day. We're Cox Communications, and we're pleased to connect with you.
Joining me now, Representative R.J. Hawk, Republican of Bryant. Thank you so much for joining us, Representative Hawk. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Roby. I love coming on with you. It's always a good time to sit back and talk.
Well, we got a lot to talk about. You had a rough and tumble committee meeting earlier this week, I think on Wednesday, House Rules Committee. You ran your sports raffle ticket bill, did not get out of committee. I want you to explain, first of all, what your bill was proposing, just in kind of an elevator pitch.
Yeah, really, I mean, if you think about it, the NIL landscape, really just college funding for athletics in general, it's an arms race right now. And so just trying to find every way possible to help these schools, no matter if you're John Brown University or the University of Arkansas and everybody in between, this bill would have helped them with their athletic funding.
And it would have done that by giving them permission to create these raffles, whether it's a money deal at a basketball game where the proceeds are 50-50, maybe 50 to the winner, 50% to the university's program, or could be a car giveaway. Give me a couple of examples of how it could be used.
Yeah, so, the bill got labeled as the 50-50 raffle bill because that's kind of the trend across the country right now, where you buy a $10 ticket and the money goes into the pot, and at the end of the ball game, whatever the pot is, the winner would get half of that, right? And so, but I heard over the course of this, we've been working on this thing since about May of last year. And I heard from smaller schools that said, the 50-50 may not work for us, but we've got sponsors that would want to give us a car or give us a boat, and they would want to have us raffle that off, and we make money that way. And so this was literally going to work no matter if it was football, basketball, baseball, gymnastics, wrestling. This was going to work for all sports. And it would be a way for the average fan that doesn't have big NIL money, right? You hear about all these donors that are giving to collectives. If somebody just wanted to say, hey, I want to help out, if it's a building fund, it may not even be NIL. If it was a building fund, I just want to help out. My $10, I can say that I helped contribute to my favorite sports team. This was going to allow for that.
All right. So you've had a chance to talk to some of the members. You obviously were there during the debate. You experienced it all. Why do you think the bill failed? What do you think is the stumbling block for this moving forward?
Well, I think it's new. I think that anytime you talk about gambling in Arkansas, it's a hot button topic. If you remember back when the casino amendment was on the ballot, it was very divisive there for a little bit. We just saw the Polk County stuff. There was a lot of messaging out about that on whether we should have it or not. And I think when you just talk about gambling in general, it gets very confusing for people. And so I think that the part where we were taking the casinos out of the bill, because we wanted to make this a fundraising bill, not a gambling bill, a lot of members really kind of took exception to that because, look, Carlton Safa gave a great testimony about they do this. They have the geolocating. They are already talking to gamblers. And he gave the pitch that they are the ones that could do this, and they're in the state of Arkansas. My exception to that is they are a for-profit casino that's what they do. We are wanting to do fundraising. We don't want our universities to have to be tied to a casino. And there are promotion companies out there. There's 50 universities across the country that are doing this. And these promotion companies are doing it for the universities. And so there was already a platform. There was already a way. And I think that's what the committee, I think they wanted to keep it in the state of Arkansas. And so we're working through that right now.
All right, Carlton Safa, the Chief Market Officer for Saracen Casino down in Pine Bluff, just for people who are not aware of him. He's the one that gave some pretty compelling testimony on Wednesday. So where do you go from here? What do you think you're going to do? What might you change in the bill to address some of the members' concerns? Have you talked with Carlton Safa about a way to find some sort of compromise language that might include them in some sort of nonprofit capacity? What are your options right now?
Well, I think that I talked briefly with Carlton after the meeting. We've not done anything substantial. But I think one of the big things, just hearing from committee members afterwards, was the age verification. So in the bill, it says you have to be 18 years or older to buy a ticket, right? But they want some more rules around the verifying of the participant. So I think that's number one. I think the other thing that a lot of people kind of struggled with was the geolocating. With our casinos right now, with mobile wagering, they are only confined to the state of Arkansas. So if you go to Memphis and cross over the border, you are no longer able to bet on an Arkansas app when you cross over state lines. And so I think that was a lot to do with this bill. I think we got in the weeds a little bit when it came to the raffle laws that are currently in place and what we were trying to do, and the casino laws that are in place. They're two totally different things. I want to go back to, this is a fundraising bill, not a gambling bill. And so when you do that, you're looking at two different parameters. And I think trying to convey that to the committee members and not get emotional about the current laws that are in place, I think that's where we're at. Moving forward, I've already begun the discussion with some of the committee members, and they're open to the idea if we change some of that language to where we do the age verification, we do some of the geolocating, they could get on board with it.
All right. So I guess from your point of view, and I think you made this, emphasize this in the committee on Wednesday, this has to get done because Arkansas's universities and colleges have to be able to compete with the other 50 schools, and there will be more coming on board, no doubt about that. So something has to get done in this session to address this. Are you pretty confident that you're going to find some way to get this bill through the legislature, whatever form it winds up taking?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I made that pretty clear yesterday that and I've said it already on this, that it's an arms race, right? When you've got our neighboring states, and I'm not just talking about NIL. I mean, I know that's the big thing. That's the thing that everybody's talking about. But you think about the University of Arkansas, or I think of UCA that they're wanting to expand their facilities to make the fan entertainment aspect of it better. They've got to raise money, and we're a small state, and you can only go to the well so many times with the same donors to say, hey, we need $1 million here, we need $1 million there. If we could start getting fans to get involved $5, $10 at a time, it gives them a little ownership in this thing. And so, yes, I'm very committed to making sure that we find something this session, going back and working with the committee, working with anybody that wants to have a say in this, and trying to figure out the best possible solution to make it work in Arkansas.
I'm just asking this question because I'm curious, because I love watching political solutions develop. I've been doing this for over 25 years, so it's a really interesting debate to me. It seems like, because of what you said earlier there, the casinos are a for-profit operation. You don't want the universities tied to a casino or a for-profit operation like that. Is there something, do you think, that could be structured where the casino infrastructure that already exists and some of the technology that they're offering to bring to the table, at least Saracen is, could find its way into this equation of a solution?
I think there's a path. Roby, you've known me for a while. I'm a guy that I want to find solutions, right? And I think that some of the things that Carlton threw out yesterday in committee, I think they're viable things. But I think the number one thing that we've talked about, and he's even talked about, he's been public about it, is that iGaming, pocket gambling, he needs that, and they need that. I felt we've got 3 casinos in the state, and there was only one that testified against the bill, right? And so I want to go back, and if he's the only one talking about this, if we're going to talk about bringing casinos in, we need to talk to the other 2 as well and figure out, do you guys also have something in place, right? I want to find out from everybody in that landscape, if we've got something in Arkansas that will work, let's talk about it and see how we can make it best for our universities.
All right. He's Representative R.J. Hawk, Republican from Bryant. He is the lead sponsor on this sports raffle ticket bill. We'll see where it goes. Keep us in the loop on things. R.J., thank you so much for your time and for your insights.
Thank you, Roby. Appreciate you.
And that's all for this edition of Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. Thank you so much.